Angling with Herrera and Valencia. Kagawa weighs in. Still on the chase of the He was undergoing a medical supposedly with Middlesbrough. They found an injury keeping him out till the new year, so that move is not going to go ahead, not for now at least. Marco Reus is out injured. Julian Weigl, Rafael Guerrero.
Well, just ran away from the other ball.
All played in the Euros and therefore aren't here. Jose Mourinho making the point that Zlatan Ibrahimovic isn't on this tour with United, giving an extended break after his participation in the Euros. Illustrating that point by saying that the best suits are made to measure. Just saying that every training plan has to be made to fit each individual player, and Zlatan perhaps at 34 just wanting a little bit more of a break as Herrera takes a tumble. Here's Mkhitaryan. Memphis crowded out. Ball drops to Kagawa, who is given a not too subtle shove by Jesse Lingard. Clearly feels at home at Dortmund, Pat, doesn't he, Shinji Kagawa?
Well, he's a good player. If you're a good player, Dave, you feel at home anywhere. Especially when you play in a team where your teammates appreciate you.
One of the high points of his United career, that terrific hat-trick against Norwich, which was very coolly taken. Unfortunately, though, couldn't always show what he could do. Roda going to set Dortmund away. Luke Shaw, though, will see that one out. Here's the goal again.
Yeah, you'll be disappointed, Sam, that that's finished up in the back of the net. It was a great save from the second effort, but at the end of the day it finishes up in the back of the net. You'll be disappointed.
Looping over everybody, even over the blonde highlights of Phil Jones. Certain first half highlight for Dortmund, and there haven't been many of those in the opening half an hour here. A really cagey game. Certainly so far, you would look at these two sides and say, well, both sides want fitness. They certainly want to get up to speed ahead of their domestic schedules, but also they don't want to lose a game like this. It lays a marker down in Europe, doesn't it, to play a team like this?
You like to win regardless of even if it's only a friendly.
Foul on by Kagawa. That's a ball looking for Mata, just slightly overcooked.
Yeah, just a little bit, hit it a little bit too hard, unfortunately.
Mata playing in that central role where we've seen him all too rarely in his United career, really. He's been out on the right-hand side. Certainly much more comfortable through the middle of the park where he can see everything and get involved in everything. Sven Bender. Kagawa just ahead of him. Just to try and spray it out. Not sure though. Right underneath the ball, Mkhitaryan helping out. There's Daley Blind. Mata. Nice touch. Mkhitaryan to Memphis. There's space here for Valencia, and he's well found by the Dutchman.
Well, they take him on, Dave.
Gives it to Lingard. It's quickly closed down. Shinji Kagawa, the man patrolling Jesse Lingard. Pereira to Blind. That's some good numbers forward here. And Mkhitaryan, who can be dangerous, but on that occasion snuffed out by his former teammates. One back though by Lingard. Has 3 yellow shirts to beat, and in the end is guilty of a foul. This is where we're going to see a drinks break, just for a handful of minutes here. The two sides meeting with the referee before the game and deciding that on the half-an-hour mark there would be a break for both sides to take on fluids in these humid conditions. And certainly while they're looking to have a bit of a drink, Jesse Lingard needs to take on a new boot as well.
Well, they don't lace them up properly.
One of those cases where they don't do them like they used to.
No.
This is a drinks break that can be a maximum of 3 minutes inside the International Champions Cup rules. There are quite a few of those rules. I won't bore you with all of them, but the idea is in this China section of this competition, United, City and Dortmund play in a 3-team league. Each side plays each other once. It's 3 points for a win inside 90 minutes, 2 points for a win if you win on penalty kicks, 1 point if you lose on penalty kicks because you've drawn the game after 90 minutes, and if you lose inside normal time you get absolutely nothing. So as it stands at the moment,
use a bad word there.
Dortmund would be on for 3 points, United on for nothing as it currently stands, but we are nearly a third of the way through the 90 minutes and we'll see what the Reds playing in blue tonight can do when the game restarts. The International Champions Cup, a 17-team tournament overall. 17 high-profile clubs taking part in 3 mini-tournaments in 4 locations. Other sides include Bayern Munich, Barcelona and Premier League champions Leicester City as well, who are part of things this season. Last season, Real Madrid won the China section. United were in the US version, which was won by Paris Saint-Germain and a certain Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who scored against us for the French side. And so far that lot will be pretty happy with what they're seeing.
Oh, they are. They're leading 1-0. They're vastly outnumbered by the rest of the crowd in the stadium. But they're the ones that are winning.
We have had a stoppage of just under 3 minutes. And so with fluids taken on, we'll see if United can get back on terms before the break. Gonzalo Castro, the man who got that goal. And that drinks break's just giving United a chance to sort of get together a little bit and regroup, if you like.
Well, there's nobody really controlling the game, so the break didn't matter. If somebody wasn't controlling the game, you wouldn't like the break.
Certainly with the humidity and the heat out there, the players will have enjoyed that drinks break. Here go Dortmund again with Aubameyang trying to poke it through to Kagawa. Luke Shaw though there to squash that Dortmund attack. Memphis nudged off the ball by Socrates. Different challenge for Memphis tonight, isn't it? Playing against more physical centre halves instead of fullbacks.
Yeah, but you got a little nudge here. You're entitled to nudge him back.
We will no doubt see a raft of changes at some point in the game. You can make a maximum of 11 changes in this competition in 3 different rafts of substitutions. United with 9 on the bench tonight, so we won't see a full 11 change, but we will see the likes of Rojo, Januzaj, Young, Rashford, Romero, McNair, Tuanzebe, Pereira and Will Keane. Here's Castro. 4 to try and hit in Dortmund yellow. One of them is Kagawa here. Castro again. Aubameyang with a spectacular. It hit the arm of Valencia. It's a penalty.
It's not so much of the fact that the ball hit his arm. It's controlled the ball. That's why he's given the penalty. It's controlled the ball in his favour.
Something out of nothing for Dortmund, because Aubameyang tried the spectacular. It went horribly wrong. Just then all of a sudden it became horribly right for them.
It's just a cross into the box. You're not really got away with that.
Not too many complaints from a United point of view, on the pitch at least. Some might say it was a harsh decision. Here's Aubameyang. So cool in front of goal, and Dortmund's main man is at it again. Such a terrific campaign last season, and he's already up and running in pre-season. Aubameyang makes it 2-0 to Dortmund.
Hits it straight down the middle. Hits it straight down the middle. You've always got a situation, goalkeeper will dive one way or the other.
There may have been a little bit of doubt about the penalty decision, but certainly no doubt about the finish. It's another class effort from Aubameyang.
I don't think there was a doubt about the penalty, David. It was a penalty. It was handballed.
Well, let's face it,
to his favour.
If you don't think there was any doubt about the penalty, it's a stone waller.
Well, he did handball it. It went to Valencia's favour, which you can't do that.
Jose Mourinho making some notes for the team talk, which is not too far away now at half-time.
There's a bit to go yet in the game.
Here's Mkhitaryan. Herrera wants the ball, so does Lingard. Here he is. Now Herrera to Valencia. Herrera into Memphis. Nice work to keep it going. Just wouldn't quite sit down for Mkhitaryan.
No, it just couldn't sit down for it to get a strike at it.
Here's Bailly. Hustled and harried by Aubameyang.
Well played by
Daley Blind. Now Lingard. Memphis once again caught late by Socrates, who's going to go in the book here, I think. Wang Di has run out of patience with the big centre half. All ends in cuddles, but it will be a Manchester United free kick.
It's a challenge. It's illegal. I mean, maybe a bit harsh than the card, but
it's one of those that surely as a manager you would say you didn't need to do that. He's got his back to goal, he's 40 yards out, so why stick the boot in? And you see it so often. Mkhitaryan with a free kick, easy one for his old teammate Weidenfeld.
Too close to the goalkeeper. Oh, it's clever play that, the back heel.
There's a break on led by Aubameyang in the first instant. And Luke Shaw trying to make something of it from a United point of view. Just wonder what's going through his head every time someone comes in for a tackle on him at the moment in these early stages of getting back into game time. Though there were plenty of tackles going in training over the last few days, it's been pretty competitive out there. Certainly during training here last night, The United lads were getting stuck in. Can't take that competitive nature out of a player, even in a training session. I'm sure you were like that.
No, well, you want competition in training sessions. Well, you've been too nice.
Well, just bobbling away there from Felix Passlack. Herrera then couldn't bring it down under control. Schmelzer. The turn is by Ramos. It's nicely spread as well. And here goes Dembele, who's switched sides for the time being. Looking for Schmelzer. He's looking for Aubameyang, who is always looking for goal and wasn't too far away.
Well, it's a great ball across the box from the header at back. I think it was the full-back that got up there. Was that Schmelzer that got up there? It was, yeah. Knocks it back across the goal, and good job it didn't hit the target.
So far so good for Thomas Tuchel. Up in the air from Memphis, here's Lingard. And Memphis again. And Herrera. To Jones. He's given it straight to Aubameyang. Dortmund are normally so clinical on the counter-attack, so it's dangerous to give them the ball back. Here's Dembele. Kaga with a target. Phil Jones, though, the man to get it clear.
I think a lot of silly mistakes, United. But then again, second game.
Memphis' pass. There's a Ryan, and the other number 7 has a go. Sticks it away from his teammates as well.
That's a good job. Dembele gave a bad pass. Nobody catch that.
You look at this Dortmund side. 2-0 up thanks to that
straight down
penalty
the middle.
from Aubameyang.
Many players today take penalty kicks and it's straight down the middle.
They had the best Bundesliga attack last season, a club record 82 goals, largely thanks to Aubameyang. They were unbeaten at home all season, and points-wise, the best runners-up in Bundesliga history, despite the fact that Bayern finished 10 points ahead of them. Dortmund were 18 points clear of Bayer Leverkusen in third. Here's Aubameyang looking to lob Johnston, who recovers really well, as that was very, very close to 3-0.
Caught again, United. Get caught again. Not reading the situation. It's another long ball and they've got caught again. Oh, that's a terrific save. And you should give credit to the pass as well, but that's a terrific save because that's gone in.
Again, it wasn't the cleanest of hits, but it had to be saved, and it was very well by Sam. Here he goes again. Johnston has come for this and gets 2 good hands on it. Gets Lingard going as well here. 2 youngsters who've come right up through the ranks at United, looking to get them back into the game here. Memphis. Still going Memphis. Down he goes. Mata keeps it moving to Lingard. Now Herrera. Little flick through. Mata is offside and the flag is up.
Well off.
Good potential there, didn't quite come off there.
Yeah, good move, but well offside. But he's offside now.
Passlack there just went to sweep the legs away, didn't actually touch Memphis, but
it's knocked him off balance.
Last couple of minutes of this first half.
Not been very enterprising for United. I know it's only it's the fitness factor that's the most important thing. But you can see the difference. This is their 5th game. They look that little bit sharper at the moment.
5th game, and they have scored 13 goals in pre-season now, Dortmund. So already racking up the numbers in an offensive sense. Pass was just a bit too much for Memphis from Lingard. Dortmund looking pretty solid at the back and impressive going forward so far.
They've not been under a great deal of pressure at the back.
Aubameyang. Valencia got something on the ball, but it's with Dembele now. Kagawa wants it, goes to Roda. Dembele. Lovely to Kagawa, who tried to return the favour. He's done that a few times in the Bundesliga last season. Ball given to Kagawa, he returns the favour with a back heel, and it totally opens up the opposition. On that occasion, they couldn't quite get through. Mata stopped by Socrates. What about winding up from a long way out? Ramos. Mata and Shaw there to slow him down, and it's a United throw. Plenty to ponder on the bench.
Yeah, they'll be looking. No, well, anyone will get a chance.
We're going to have 3 added minutes, by the way, at the end of this first half. There we are. And those are the 3 added minutes because of the 3 minutes drinks break, really. This first half. Dortmund with their 2 goals, which they will want to protect in the dying moments of this half. No surprise to see him on the score sheet today. In some ways, Thomas Tuchel will be pleased to see him scoring, but he'll also want him to keep a bit of a low profile with the transfer window well and truly open for a good while yet. The vultures certainly circling around Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Which is bad news for Dortmund, not just because he's a good player, but because they aren't well stocked in terms of centre forwards.
Oh, Dortmund have been a selling team for a long, long time.
It's a funny thought to be second in your league, but still be considered by some a selling team.
Yeah.
Roda to Ramos. Castro. Now Schmelzer just got in behind United here. Mkhitaryan comes over to him. Castro. Good challenge by Herrera. Now Memphis. Herrera looking to set him away.
He's not giving him much of a chance there, has he?
Mkhitaryan. Herrera to Mata. Roda, though, the one to win it back this time, and now it's Kagawa. Dembele. Valencia gets the boot in. Here he is again. Memphis. Skips away from Mata to Paslak.
Conditions are, Dave, you don't want to give the ball away so easily because you've got to chase and get it back.
Roda. Socrates. Dortmund happy just to play the ball around, wait for the referee's whistle here. Schmelzer. Roda and the pressure from Blind. Dembele underneath this one. Schmelzer. That's half time, and it brings to an end an impressive first half from a Dortmund point of view. Jose Mourinho wanders in for the half-time team talk, which will be an interesting listen after a first half which Dortmund have seen plenty of the ball and have scored the 2 goals as well. Gonzalo Castro's slightly scuffed effort giving them the lead. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's clinical penalty making it 2-0. Plenty for United to do in the second half at half-time here in Shanghai. It's Manchester United 0, Borussia Dortmund 2.
Welcome to business in the 21st century. Today, it's not the product or the service that wins the match, it's the experience. And those in the business of creating great experiences know it can't be done in isolation. It needs collaboration across boundaries and disciplines. It demands unparalleled agility and the ability to change course in the face of adversity. Today, technology allows us the freedom to deliver these experiences like no era in history. It is on this new and exciting playing field that we come together. Not to form a partnership, but a team. A team that stands united to the final whistle and beyond. Because in the 21st century, technology is making business a team sport.
As far as Ronaldo, Sky's ball to Rooney, wonderful interchange between the two. Ronaldo's on fire here, Rooney again, he knew exactly where he was. This is devastating from United, and it's an absolutely fantastic goal.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Rooney and Ronaldo at their very best equals Manchester United at their best. You'll go a long, long way to see a better team goal than that.
Saturday, 6:30 on MUTV.
Well, after victory at Wigan, it's been a bit of a reality check in Shanghai for United. 2 down at half-time to quite a slick Dortmund side, who of course have been training for an extra 2 weeks, have played 4 games. And Dwight, that showed, didn't it, in that first 45 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm correct in saying, I think Dortmund is obviously well into the season campaign. They look a little sharper, they do everything a lot quicker, you can see the players are up and running. And United, even though they had 1 or 2 opportunities, you could just see that they're lacking behind in terms of the quality of the possession. And Dortmund seem to have done that and capitalised very well on us.
Let's take a look at the goals. The first one, Gonzalo Castro, and I suppose inevitably Sam Johnston won't be too pleased with this goal, because maybe he should have done better with a long-range shot.
Well, at this level, you expect a goalkeeper, you know what it is. It's more of a side foot, but it's one that also moves slightly to the keeper's right, and you expect him at this level to do a lot better. I think even though the ball was just bouncing awkward in front of him, I expected him to really do a lot better. It's not up, you can see not a lot of pace on the ball, but there's a little bit of a swerve move. It's a thing that players seem to do now, where they get the ball sort of moving quite a bit.
Yeah, credit too, by the way, to Valencia in that melee for an excellent block and tackle on Kago, because it looked like he was going to score, but in the end Gonzalo Castro did. Bit of a messy one, so I suppose in the ideal world, is he pushing it further away?
Well, he's done the correct thing, but as I said, I still feel that he could have done a lot better. And yeah, the correct thing is to parry it away. Unfortunately, he parried to one of the Dortmund player. He's followed up. There's a good block from Valencia, but then the third one was one too many at a time. You need to get the ball away. They didn't been able to clear the lines. United, and they pay the consequences in the end.
1-0 soon became 2. Penalty kick from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, was it a question mark over this? Was it a penalty for handball from Antonio Valencia?
Yeah, well, he's gone for the overhead kick, as you can see here. Great effort there, didn't really come off, and I think it's a bit unlucky. I think, I have to say it's a penalty, although you would have probably complained and said ball to hand. You can see the reaction from Valencia straight away. It's a clear handball, and yeah, it has to be a penalty. If it was in the Man United situation, the situation been reversed, then clearly you would have been appealing for a penalty. And of course, this man steps up. We're going to talk a lot about him. Very cool, collective. Seemed like a practice game. Just show up there and send the keeper the wrong direction.
Yes, he's the sort of guy who you don't for a minute think he's going to miss. You know, he just gives you that confidence that he knows exactly what he's doing. Aubameyang, a man who was so prolific last season.
Yeah, absolutely. A guy who is beaming with confidence, knows his quality of football right now is in a good place. He knows he's a top man at the football club now with all these players moved on. And he's relished the opportunity. And that's where you talk about good players stepping up and taking the mantle on. Now he's become the main man at that football club. There's no doubt in my mind that he was going to go on and score that goal.
In terms of clear-cut chances for United, not too many. The outstanding opportunity falling to Jesse Lingard. Should the finish have been a little better than this?
Yeah, and I think this is just lacking again. You know, he's got lucky, he got a deflection there. You can see someone just not very comfortable at being in that position. Yes, you saw Jesse for all his silky plays and good touch. This is a part of his game I would like to see maybe, somebody take him aside after training and says, listen, you get into these wonderful positions, you need to do better. And it's all about the choices. He went for side foot, maybe on a different occasion, that might have worked. But on this occasion, I would have gone for power, low and hard to the keeper, let the keeper make a better save. But in the end, it was a very feeble sort of finish. Someone who's maybe lacking, who doesn't like being in those kind of positions, and something that he needs to work on and improve on.
Because if we think back to the FA Cup final, he didn't have to think about it. He just slashed in a volley into the top corner, amazing goal. In a situation where it's 1 against 1, you've got time to think about it. Where am I going to put it? Is it sometimes easier for some players just to instinctively smash it?
Well, it is. When you think about players instinctively, it just kind of happen off the cuff. You do it. You don't think about it. You get into that position where you're confronting the goalkeeper one-on-one, time on your hands. Too many thoughts in your head before you know it. It's a sloppy finish. Defender come back at you. Keeper made it easy for the goalkeeper. But again, if you don't practice these things, you don't get better at it. Often enough you see Jesse, as I said, I praise him for all the good work, got in the team, scored fantastic goals, but he does get into that position far too often and not been able to finish off the good work he's been doing.
There was still time for Sam Johnstone to make a save. Aubameyang this time, and it was just agonisingly looping over him, and he was backpedaling, and you wondered whether it was going to be 3, but it's a decent save from Sam.
It was, and you expect him to make the save, as I said. It wasn't a difficult one, it may have looked, but again, a fantastic ball. Jonesy got a little caught out there, a little deflection, and a good touch from the goalkeeper in the end. He had to react it, and he redeemed himself extremely well there. He'll be very pleased with that save and kept it out. But it could have been worse for United. Nevertheless, 2-0 down. The lads are still disappointed going in there, and the manager will know his second game into the season. These guys are a lot sharper and quicker at the ball. We just need to move it a little bit better and retain position a lot better.
We obviously saw the drinks break as well after half an hour for around 3 minutes as well. In these difficult, humid conditions, Jose Mourinho took that chance to have a chat with his players. In terms of the new players, Mkhitaryan and Eric Bailly, it's actually Eric Bailly was the busiest because Dortmund had most of the play.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see that. But at the end of the day, this was a good call from the manager. He's obviously explaining to the players that they probably need to retain position a little bit more. These guys are sharper than us, so we need to move the ball a little quicker. That's what he's probably saying to them, and keep compact. And there's too many spaces developing within the midfield area, and we want the ball to be more in their third of the pitch, not in our third of the football pitch. We need the ball up more, so we need players to push up. I think that we are dropping up a little bit too deep at the moment, which invites Dortmund onto us. We need to push up a little bit more.
Yeah, so the boys were mentioning there, Mkhitaryan and Bailly did have a part to play for United in that first 45 minutes. Mkhitaryan always neat and effective in possession. He just didn't have much of the ball, did he?
Well, that's because we haven't retained the ball when we have it. And these type of players need to see the ball often. So you have to have quality players to show what they're capable of doing. Yes, you have to graft a little bit, to retain position. But when you do, use it well. And they've been able to. He's not been in the game. He's not been able to feature. And I think he's playing out of position. I'm not making excuses for him, but he's playing. But this guy on the ball, Eric, he's been busy a lot. He's on the ball. He seems reasonably comfortable on the ball as well. And I think he will get better, no doubt about that. But he will realize that in the Premier League there's no time. You can't sort of dilly-dally on the ball and you think you have a comfort day. It doesn't happen like that in the Premier League. But again, it's new to him. It'll take some time to settle in, and he will understand when you play for United, every game team wants to beat you.
Can Manchester United come back from this situation. They've got it all to do. There will be a good few changes at half-time as well, but at the interval here, United are 2 down. We're coming back with second half commentary on Manchester United against Borussia Dortmund.
Before every game, you want the latest United news. And there is only one place to get it. With exclusive interviews,
if you want to play for United, you want to play for trophies, victories,
the latest squad news, and inside knowledge from the pros, there is no better way for a fan to prepare for the big game. Countdown to kick-off Tour Special. Sunday on MUTV.
Top flight reliability. Top flight safety. Top flight comfort. Welcome to Aeroflot, your top flight team.
The new manager is here. And MUTV is the only place to see every minute of all his press conferences.
I can say that I am where I want to be. I want everything. I want to win matches. I want to play well. I have to say that I'm the manager of the biggest club.
Be the first to hear the facts from the man who makes the decisions.
The third player is already official, or not yet? No.
Mourinho's press conference on MUTV.
Manchester United Foundation uses football to engage and inspire young people.
To help them build a better life for themselves and their community.
Engage. Inspire.
Welcome back to the Shanghai Stadium. Thank you to Stuart and to Dwight for half-time. You're back up in the commentary box with David Stahl and Paddy Crerand. And hopefully we're going to see a second half where Manchester United can get themselves back into this game against the Dortmund side, who are looking in very good form and are looking very fit in this game here tonight. In it's tricky conditions for both sides, really, but so far Dortmund have looked...
Oh, they've been the better side. They look much sharper in every way. I think the difference is obviously they've played this is their 5th game, their 2nd. They look much sharper than us.
They're very dangerous on the counter-attack as well, which is now a game they can play in the second half, of course, with the 2-goal cushion they've got.
It could have been more, actually, couldn't it? I mean, silly penalty to give away, one of these daft things that happens in games, but United would need to score quickly to get themselves a chance of coming back into the game. But we keep saying pre-season games don't matter, but somewhere along the way you don't like to lose, do you?
Yeah, during the course of the half-time break, around about 8 Dortmund players have been warming up, so you might see almost a full change of the 11 for Dortmund at the start of this second half, just waiting for substitutions to be confirmed. United will have some changes, of course, during the course of the game, trying to give everyone a little bit of game time, get the fitness going.
Oh, there'll be changes, there's no question about that. I think they'll be using their pen very shortly, maybe for both sides, not just for Manchester United.
Yeah, the likes of Nuri Sahin, former Liverpool player, could come on. Marc Bartra, there, the number 5, who's just been signed from Barcelona. Plenty of potential in this Dortmund side on the bench, and we'll look to see if they perhaps change things around and make it even harder for Jose Mourinho's side to get back into it. It's been difficult on the pitch, but it's been difficult against a side who are very fit. And you're mouthing that you can't hear me, but
The whole world now knows that you don't know what I'm saying, and you can't hear me say that, so it's fine. I'll just carry on.
This is the playing abroad in situations like this. Sometimes this happens.
So Dortmund are coming back out, and looks like United are coming back out with Marcus Rocco taken to the field in the second half. Sam Johnston has a bib on rather than just the green shirt, so they'll have a change in goal as well. Ashley Young and Marcus Rashford will start the second half as well, which is interesting because we were thinking we wouldn't see Rashford too much in this tour, certainly in this game, having only just come back from his duty at the Euros. But looks like he's going to come on now and try and get United back into things with some pace. And so Mkhitaryan there. Their certainly spirits are different on both sides, judging by the body positions and body language as they come out for this second half. But Dortmund pretty much, I think, looking at the numbers, they're pretty much the same starting this second period. One change here for Dortmund by the looks of it, and that's all being sorted out on the touchline. Certainly Rocco, Young and Romero coming on for United, and Marcus Rashford as well, sporting his new number of 19 this season. Jakob Brun Larsen has come on for Dortmund as well, replacing Felix Passlack. So a straight swap at right back for Dortmund, and Romero coming on in goal in place of Sam Johnston for Manchester United. Young, Rocco and Rashford to join them. And it's the point of the proceedings where normally the air turns blue, where Mr. Crown is frantically writing on a sheet of paper, which becomes a mess of black pen by the end of it all. Yeah. Rocco certainly on, Rashford and Young to join, and as you can see, it's a similar nightmare situation, full of paperwork for those on the touchline as well. Jesse Lingard replaced by Marcus Rashford. Rashford, another one who's changed his number for the start of this season, wearing 19 instead of his previous number, which of course he shot to fame in. 39. Memphis replaced as well, and on comes Marcus Rashford. Certainly adds a natural finisher, natural striker to the central focal point for this United side in the second half. And so we will now get the second period underway. Wang Di, the referee, just waiting for the all clear to get going, which he now has, and off we go in the second half. So 3 changes for United, 1 change for Dortmund. We'll see if that changes the way this game is going. At the moment, Dortmund in the box seat as Rashford looks to make an immediate impact, but it rolls all the way through to Roman Weidenfeller.
Well, they'll add a little bit of pace up there.
Closing down by Rashford certainly will add a bit of impetus, won't he? It's what he did for England, albeit
well, it's just
wasn't used very much in the Euros.
As a pre-season match, at the end of the day, you're bringing players on. Maybe the intention was to bring them on originally anyway. But let's hope United could do with a goal, Dave.
Mkhitaryan releases Luke Shaw. Young in the middle. Luke Shaw just...
That happens in pre-season, you have a heavy touch.
Not sure whether the pitch was a problem there for him or whether it was just a bad contact on the ball. Either way, it comes to nothing, and Dortmund get it away. Free kick goes United's way. Here's Herrera. Mata. Mkhitaryan slotted into a more central role now. The flag up against Rashford. Just went a bit too soon. Just a little bit too eager to make the impact there. Sokratis will get us started again for Dortmund. Certainly Rashford will bother him more than perhaps Memphis did in that first half. More natural in that position. Larsson, the half-time substitute, helping it on to Castro, and then Sokratis to Larsson again.
Made a brighter start to the second half.
Schmelzer. Sven Bender takes over. Castro waiting for the ball, but it goes to Kagawa instead. Ramos has it taken off him by Antonio Valencia. Clearance is helped on its way by Daley Blind. It drops to Rocco. He's come on. Danish youth international. Turns 18 in September. Aubameyang. Castro looks for the return. Turns 18 in September. Aubameyang. Castro looks for the return. Luke Shaw had to get there quickly. So nodded away from Dembele.
We're just not keeping the ball at the moment, United. They're giving it away very. I gave him a little chase there, but couldn't catch him.
Aubameyang certainly has plenty of that. But a random replay. Here is Dembele. He will be annoyed that his limelight's been stolen temporarily.
Oh, he looks the player, the kid. He looks the player.
Can play on the right, can play on the left. We've seen him switch a few times during the game. Rather like Henrik Mkhitaryan, who can do that and can also play through the middle, as we've just seen. There's Dembele battling with Blind. Roda. Mata sees it out. It's a Manchester United throw, but before the throw is taken, we are going to see 7 Dortmund changes all at once. Paddy Crerand has just gone into meltdown.
Yeah.
So, get your pen and paper handy. There's smoke coming out of our graphics machine already. We'll shout out some names as they come on. Shinji Kagawa is going off, by the way, so he's had an hour against his former team. Sokratis likewise. We're going to see the likes of Marc Bartra, the young Spanish centre-half from Barcelona. Also Moritz Leitner is going to come on. It's the end for Sven Bender. So on comes Bartra who at 25 has been a Barcelona player for 14 years, so it's strange for him to be in pre-season with a different club. Denis Bernic also coming on, 18-year-old German midfielder. And Mikel Merino, the young teenage Spaniard, another one of their new signings from Osasuna. Now the guy on the left here of your picture is one to watch for the future again. They've got a few of these, by the way. Emre Mor, you may have seen him in the Euros for Turkey. Actually born in Denmark on the outskirts of Copenhagen, and was playing for the Danish under-19 side as late as November before switching allegiance to Turkey. Made his debut for them in May and went to the Euros and was one of their few reasons to be positive after they failed to get through to the knockout stages. A summary of some of the players coming on and off for you there. All change from a Dortmund point of view, pretty much. And we'll see what United do in response very shortly, I think, as well. Here's Ashley Young. Ander Herrera. A bit more optimism in this game for United now, and those substitutions came at a time when the Reds were just getting up ahead of steam.
Well, you hope the goal will have helped United. Just think if they can get the next one.
Well, here they go. Ashley Young. Rashford and Mkhitaryan in the middle. It's just over both of those. Mata will rescue it. He's looking to play it back to Luke Shaw. It goes out off Emre Mor. Here is Shaw. Now Mata. That's a terrific ball in, but not quite enough on it to find Rashford.
Well, you have to get it past the first defender.
From our angle there, it looked like he had, and it looked like it was going to fall right at the feet of the young Mancunian. He was the breakthrough star of last season for United. Star of a side who had many breaking through. Rojo gets it back from Herrera. Now Eric Bailly. Rojo. Blind. There's movement from Rashford. They can't quite get the ball through to him. Eric Bailly. Valencia. And Mata. A little bit of space for Luke Shaw. Quite shake off the attentions of Larson. You can see that Paddy McNair and Adnan Januzaj will join us shortly. And in fact, they're going to join us now. So Paddy McNair, who's just returned from the Euros with Northern Ireland and a heroic run by Michael O'Neill's side. McNair and Januzaj on, and it's the end of the game for Daley Blind and for Henrik Mkhitaryan, who's left his mark on the game against his former employers. Adnan Januzaj runs on in the new squad number for this season of 15. Paddy McNair replacing Daley Blind in that central midfield role, the role that he fulfilled for Northern Ireland over the summer. Shaw to Januzaj, turning the favour. And goes Shaw.
It's unfortunate, it was out originally. Oh, I don't know how you knew the difference there, linesman. I thought this was a United throw. Well, it didn't come off if it wasn't.
Yeah, it just came offshore as he hurdled Mark Bartra, who's had the unconventional rise to being a football star at Barcelona. His father is a tractor driver, his wife a MotoGP journalist. He's part of the new breed now, though, at Borussia Dortmund. We've had 3/4 of the game.
United a little more alive than at any stage in the game, actually. Maybe the goal's been a bit of a lift for them. You get another one, you never know.
Here's Romero. Rashford would have been offside had he gone for it, so he's left it, and Torreira will chase that, but it has enough on it. I think the PA announcer here in the Shanghai Stadium has finally written down all those changes from both Dortmund and United and will now attempt to read them out to the crowd here. Here's Larson, one of those who came off the bench for Dortmund. Oli Şahin, who made 12 appearances on loan at Liverpool from Real Madrid a couple of years ago, and said he was very frustrated there as he was played out of position during his spell at Anfield. Ended up leaving saying, "Thank God I left." Luke Shaw. Back to Rojo. Taking on Emery Moore. He's just about doing enough.
Always did well to get out of that.
Too high for Rashford. Here's Young. Under Herrera. Januzaj wants the ball. It's Rashford here instead. Luke Shaw. Just closed the legs at the right time there. He's going to keep running here. Charging forward with Larson. Just made his presence known a little too much, says the referee.
I'm not sure that was a free kick. That I think maybe he tried to, but it never come off.
Bartra with the free kick. Thought about the short one to Şahin. Won by Bailly, taken on by Young. Weidenfeller gets Dortmund going again. Here's Şahin. Bailly again sharply into the challenge.
Yeah, good meaty challenge that. You'd like to see defenders doing that.
Bartra. Oh, Larson.
Yeah, a little late challenge by Luke Shaw.
Dortmund quite happy to just play the ball around at the moment, as you would expect in a position that they're in.
Yeah,
and it's a test for them to see if they can see this out, really, isn't it?
They want to take the piss out of the game. Slow it down as much as they possibly can.
Pulisic involved for Dortmund. There's Larson.
Emre Moore, one who is more than happy to take on his opposite number. He loves running at fullbacks, and so Luke Shaw will be a busy man if he sees too much of the ball. Leitner for Dortmund. Ball just bounced up and hit Herrera's arm. He's not best pleased about that decision. United flag is out. The space and time here for Larsson. Quickly closed down by Januzaj. It'll be a Dortmund corner.
I certainly don't want this one to finish up the net.
Corner to be taken by Emre Moore. Maurice Leitner is there with him as well, just in case they want to go short, and they do. They're going to try and flick it into the box. It's a nice touch as well, and one that had to be dealt with by Juan Mata.
Yeah, but there's a Dortmund player coming in at the far post. I can't see who it is, but we just watched this flick on. The Dortmund player coming in at the far post, yes.
It was Mikel Merino who was running in at pace. Marc Bartra, the former Barcelona defender, who made the clever flick at the front post. Here's another corner. Plenty in there, including Nuri Sahin, who was closest to it. Referee has given another corner here to Dortmund.
Well, their defender's not very good, is it?
And it comes again. Romero calls for it, grabs it.
He can't play it forward.
He tried to look for someone in blue to hit, and eventually had to wait for Juan Mata on this side. Andreas Pereira is stripped and ready to come on for United here. Away by McNair. Ashley Young gives chase and is knocked over with enough force for the officials to agree that that should be a United free kick.
Just used his shoulder to elbow him out of the way. Nearly took the linesman with him, didn't he?
There's a clear tug of the shirt by Young on the linesman there. Here's Valencia going off to be replaced by Andreas Pereira. He scored that thumping goal at Wigan. He was wearing number 6 on Saturday at the DW. He comes on in his regular squad number of 44 tonight. Scored on last year's tour, a header against San Jose Earthquakes.
You'd hope that would drop to a blue shirt there, but it didn't.
Rashford can't find Herrera.
Got to make sure he pass.
I mentioned earlier, both sides allowed to make 11 changes in this game in 3 separate blocks of changes, 3 for each team, that is. So we won't have too many more stoppages for changes now. Dortmund players going through a warm down by their bench away to our right hand side as United carry on here with Herrera. 15 minutes to go. 3-1 Dortmund lead. Mata. Quick turn, tried to release Januzaj, who manages to keep the ball in play. Trying to cause trouble against the side he was on loan at last season. Gets the ball in, not quite into the path of Marcus Rashford. Pereira tried to open it up for the shot. McNair keeps it moving. Mata. Andreas Pereira, and that's out of play. I think we're going to see another break here now for both sides to take on some liquid, which
which just gives us a bit of an opportunity really to set up the final quarter of an hour or so, Paddy, here. What can United do
if United could get the second goal, it would make it very interesting the last 15 minutes, wouldn't it? It's easier said than done.
Many in Dortmund colours can sit and enjoy the last 15 minutes of the game. Certainly Ousmane Dembele can after this goal.
Oh, but look at, he got the break again, didn't he? The ball coming off Luke Shaw. You're not going to go anywhere, but it just comes back to him.
Great finish.
Or it's Rocker rather, not. It comes, yeah, it's a great strike. There's nothing you can do about that. Hold your hands up.
This the strike from Mkhitaryan.
Well, it's so unselfish, Mata, isn't it? He possibly could have scored himself.
Then on your channel, taking on Manchester City in the second game of the International Champions Cup. It's all set up for a fascinating evening in China, or morning stroke afternoon, depending on where you are in the world watching it. I look forward to bringing that game to you. Everyone talking about Jose versus Pep and all the rest of it. Well, it's an early indication of what might happen in the Manchester derby, which is early this season. 4 or 5 games into the Barclays Premier League season, United and City set to lock horns. So an early bit of scouting perhaps for both sides ahead of that one. We're just about ready to restart the final part of this game.
To Rashford.
There's always that moment, isn't there, when someone's caught offside? That person looks across and says, I wasn't.
Yeah,
and the assistant looks back and says, yes, you were.
Well, you look at that, he is, but not a lot in it. You just wonder sometimes. He's got great pace, Rashford. He doesn't need to be caught offside. He still gives somebody a chance of running past him.
What a 6 month or so it's been for him. Phenomenal stuff. Something for all of our youngsters to aspire to. You consider we watch the action closely in the under-18s and the second string side, the reserves, the under-23s as they're going to be known. I wonder if Paddy McNair's sick of that Will Griggs on fire song yet. I don't think there are many Northern Irishmen who are, to be fair. Here you go Dortmund again, looking to tie up this game. Emery Moore. Real battle for the ball there with Bailly, and it breaks for Dortmund, and it's very nearly a fourth that would have put United to bed.
Well, he was under severe pressure to take the shot on because he was going to get challenged. There's 2 defenders back there, but he still gets the shot in.
Christian Pulisic it was.
Yeah, defenders all round him. Yeah, 2 defenders bearing down him, not very far away. That would have been good night Vienna, that.
Christian Pulisic with a breakthrough season of his own for club and country. Played his part for Dortmund and made his debut for the USA. Jose Mourinho plays ball boy in his own unique way. Rocco Herrera back to Pereira. He's come on in that deep lying midfield role, really, just in front of the defenders.
Probably his best position.
Well, that's how he arrived at United, with a snapping the tackle in that midfield role. Januzaj looking for Rashford. It'll break here. Pereira.
Why didn't he hit it?
Pereira left it for Herrera. Let's call the whole thing off. Luke Shaw might well be booked for his challenge, but a yellow card for Eric Bailly for booting the ball into orbit there in frustration with the referee. He might have saved Luke Shaw from a yellow card there.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Wang Di was certainly moving with purpose towards the former Southampton fullback.
It's down very easily all the same, don't you? So easy.
And this was a case of after you.
Why didn't he hit it? Did they get mixed up with each other?
Well, if they'd made the contact that Eric Bailly made with the ball, might well have ended up rocketing past Roman Weidenfeller. Januzaj chasing back with Larsson. 7.5 minutes for United to make a difference here and turn this game around.
Well, you need to get that goal, Dave, to make it interesting.
Shaw. Januzaj easily away from Larsson. Here's Rashford. Back to Januzaj. Not enough blue shirts forward really there.
No, there wasn't.
Has been a game, as many are, I suppose, between two competitive and skillful sides, largely that we've seen played out in the middle of the park. Not an awful lot of goal-mouth action.
That's the way
even though we've seen 4 goals.
Yeah.
Not too many chances during the course of the game that haven't been converted.
Oh, that's a free kick.
Ashley Young with a couple of fouls in there, I think. Pulisic certainly felt the force of one of those challenges. Just a ticking off for Ashley Young.
Yeah, the other players have been booked for less than that, I think. 2 challenges for the price of 1.
Emre Moore taking on Shaw. Bailly with a challenge. He's already been booked. Referee very quickly blew the whistle there. And it's another position of menace for Borussia Dortmund here.
Just a little bit too quick for Bailly there. He's already been booked. Good job, it's a friendly. I think he's surely have a shot, Dave.
Well, there are a couple who are interested here. Nuri Sahin, formerly of Liverpool, would love to score against Manchester United here. But it's Castro hits it and gets far too much on the strike.
Yeah, too high, no problem.
Goes McNair, drops for Dortmund. Moritz Leitner, nicely played. Castro with more ahead of him. And Castro goes for it, and it's a worldie. You just don't stop those, and it's been very difficult to stop Borussia Dortmund tonight. That's their 4th of the night, much to the amusement of their manager.
That might be their best one. It's a great strike, isn't it? Not a great deal you can do that. Hold your hands up and walk away. The just disappointing thing about it, David, you'd want somebody to be closing them down to make it a little bit more difficult for him, but nobody has. He's got a lot of room there. Yeah, he couldn't have hit it much better.
A picture perfect strike on a near perfect night for Dortmund.
Oh, that's a free kick. Surely that's a free kick.
Well, Young went down.
Yeah, he looks at the linesman. The linesman's right there. He's interfered with Ashley Young. He's done nothing about it.
Another Dortmund free kick. Given away this time by Paddy McNair. Just slotted in at right back in the last 10 minutes or so. Hitching a ride there. And Pulisic. What do you learn on nights like this, Pat?
You put it down to pre-season. I mean, as I said earlier on, it's all about the first match at Bournemouth. And things happen in pre-season games, mistakes you make that you wouldn't probably make in Premier League matches, all that sort of thing. But then, to be fair, in actual fact, they played well, Borussia Dortmund, and certainly been the better side. What you can do about that? Just disappointing for the vast numbers of United fans that are in here tonight.
Last couple of minutes then of this game, which is done and dusted as a contest. There's Larsson. Luke Shaw flying into the challenge with Marco Huber.
Well, it's great to see Luke Shaw there. He wasn't holding back, wasn't he, after that bad injury he got? Straight in. Nice to see.
Emre Moore flicks it on towards Larsson. Luke Shaw, though, will win the race to the ball. He feeds Januzaj. Just showed too much of that to Dortmund. It's back with Bailly. Shaw's clearance will come back at United here. Leitner. Emre Moore. Good run from him. Taking on all comers here. Looking for a sparkling fifth. Eric Bailly just trying to get it away here. For a moment was stuck under a variety of bodies. Here's Mata to Rashford, who's one-on-one with Bartra. Chance to stretch the Spaniard here. Still Rashford. Still Rashford. Out of nowhere. Fullback came across to help out.
Yeah, came across and blocked the shot.
Dennis Burnic with some good tracking back, which was all important. 5 added minutes. The end of a game where we've seen 5 goals, and we nearly saw another one. Rashford trying to steal that away from Weidenfeller. Leitner back again. Now Nuri Sahin. Luke Shaw in quickly on Emre Moore. Leitner. Bartra. Moore just lets it go. It's Rocco who tries to clear it. Drops for Sahin. Luke Shaw in the way, uses an arm, says the referee here.
I think that hit him more than anything. That's what he's complaining about, but this hits him. Nothing in that.
Juan Mata, who is wearing the captain's armband in these latter stages of the game, just pleading his teammates' cause. Paddy McNair picks up the pieces. Now it's Rocco. Andreas Pereira. Pereira once more. About 90 seconds of the added time to play. Next up, Paddy. Manchester City, the first ever Manchester derby played outside of Manchester.
Well, they couldn't be further away to play it, could they? It could be very interesting.
We head to the Bird's Nest in Beijing for Pep against Jose, if you like. City against United. Join us for live coverage of that game in just a few days' time, right here on MUTV. Mata's challenge sees Emre Moore go to ground.
Well, he's caught him in the face. He has caught him. I thought it was a free kick as well, but the referee doesn't agree with me. That's a free kick, surely.
The arm was raised, and Mata is sort of apologising to Moore if he caught him. Moore not particularly pleased with the Spaniard. Bailly just taken on one too many perhaps there. Shaheen. One last attack for Dortmund maybe here. Emre Moore. Pereira with a challenge. Down goes Moore. Oh, he's getting a little frustrated out there. United just don't want to concede a fifth.
It was pushed, but it made it look spectacular, didn't it?
Pereira.
Oh, that's too much.
Castro's on a hat-trick. McNair, though, determined he doesn't get one.
Well, he may as well throw it up there and let Rashford have a little bit of a run.
McNair to Pereira. That's full time. Not the result many expected, or many United fans wanted to see, but one that Thomas Tuchel and Dortmund will savour. They kept the ball well, and they took their chances, and their superior fitness came to the fore as they bagged 4 as a result. It ends here in Shanghai, the opening game of Tour 2016, presented by Aeon. Manchester United 1, Borussia Dortmund 4.
I remember everything. It's kind of like it was yesterday.
Je me suis toujours dit, après ma carrière de footballeur, Il faudrait que j'aille sur un circuit et apprendre à piloter, savoir ce que c'est piloter.
There was a few actually that was interesting. Yeah, there was a few on the blue side.
Oh, Dandingham?
Yeah, no, not that side.
Oh, no. Well, this is nice and smart, Robbo, isn't it?
It's a little bit different how it is.
As it should be.
I never thought that I was going to do and achieve so many things, and doing the things that I've done, playing in the teams I played, and winning the things I won. I never dreamt of this.
Goalkeeping is tough. The most important part of goalkeeping at all is your ability to recover from making a mistake.
Best thing that ever happened in my life, I got picked.
I think my first job was probably mopping the stairs at the cliff.
We were scared of Eric, but it brought the best out in every one of the players.
Well, it wasn't a relationship, you just did as you were told, it was as simple as that.
I'm a straight talker, I say it how it is.
Boy, he's much too good looking to be a boxer. He's charismatic. And if you broke his arm off, through the bone would say Manchester.
The rebel is a very important word. Yeah. And it's important that you don't do the sense of the word. And I had to